As quickly as John Desko retired, the Syracuse men's lacrosse team found an icon to replace him. Former Syracuse women's lacrosse head coach Gary Gait will take over as the 5th ever head coach of the men's program. She was a freshman, so she's somebody who Coach Quentin Hillsman could have really built his entire program around, develop her into a star, but it's not going to happen. Well, wherever she goes, we wish her luck, but we hope it's not an ACC school so we don't have to face her again. Pitching isn't a problem for the local team's big brother, though, especially when its stable has an arm like Jacob deGrom's. The deGrominator is set to make his 11th start of the season this week against the Chicago Cubs. The question on everyone's mind, is it even possible for him to get any better?
Now another obstacle. Megan Carney, the leading goal scorer, went down in the first game against Boston College.
And Coach Gate said it himself. This is one of their best offensive player. Meg Carney had a hat trick in Thursday's game, and the whole year it's been the Meg show. It's Meg Carney and Meg Tyrell producing on that offensive end, but that duo is going to have to be put on hold for now. The story of the game today was Colgate's Cara O'Reilly. She was an absolute force on the draw circle, helping her team to win 19 of 25 total draws. In spring, we think March Madness, baseball, and lacrosse, but in a year where nothing is normal, why not football in March?
As good as Houston is, this felt like a winnable game for Syracuse, so how did it get away?
Syracuse's offense was just shut down by Houston's defense, and even when those shots were open, Syracuse just couldn't hit them. And while football teams have their eyes set on those future games, both head coach Dave Klein and senior lineman Maxwell White agree. For now, just being back on the field is rewarding enough.
Samantha, I got to take a deep breath. That was a crazy finish, and who else to finish it off? Aaron Matson.
And you kind of knew that that was going to happen, but it's still nice to see her just write her own story. You know, such an awesome season, and what a great way for her to end it. Kind of a feel-good win for the entire team heading into the postseason. Syracuse men's lacrosse recruits just got one more reason to spend 4 years on the Hill. Dave Petramala, who spent 20 years coaching at Johns Hopkins, is moving up north to become Gary Gates' right-hand man. Coach Gates says that this win is proof of one thing. When one Syracuse player goes down, others will step up in her place. Fourth quarter, Bucks up by 22. This game wasn't even exciting anymore. Mahomes for the drop-back pass on a desperation 4th and 10 play, but Bucks safety Jordan Whitehead says no thank you and peace, getting his much-needed revenge on Tyreek Hill. Emma Ward also making a name for herself this weekend. 4 goals on the day, including a behind-the-back goal. Are we sure she's only a freshman?
So I am.
Upon first glance, Scott Upham and Tammy Shue are just 2 average Strathmore residents. Upham works as a housing specialist. As for Tammy,
I'm a teacher. That's what I do.
On top of their jobs, they also have these little guys to take care of.
Thank you, Dad. You're welcome.
Landon is 6, and little Carson
Boots. Where's your boots?
is only 2. Every day is busier than the last, especially with the stress of the kiddos and full-time jobs. And yet, when the pandemic first hit, the couple saw a growing need in the community, and they decided to act.
We wanted to be remembered as some of the people that made a difference and actually stepped up to do something.
Enter the Shop at Strathmore, a food pantry that doubles as the family's front porch. When the pantry opened last spring, the couple thought its impact would be short-lived.
We just said, we're just going to try. We'll give it, we'll give it a week. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll last 2 weeks. That was our logic.
But in small neighborhoods like Strathmore, news travels fast and help arrives even faster.
People saw what we were doing, they reached out to us, and they continued to reach out to us and said, we'd like to help. What do you need?
How long has it been now?
It's been over 11 months now. At the end of March, it'll be a year.
And in that year, what started out as 30 items on one table has turned into thousands of items, all donated by and for the community.
They call it Strathmore Strong. I think it started that way. The idea that Strathmore is going to support the people in our immediate area.
And people show up every time. I can't say enough how great this neighborhood is. I mean, they've stepped up in ways that people can't even imagine.
Initially, the shop was receiving donations mostly from the people who live right here in Strathmore. But a year later, the shop is receiving donations from places as far as Auburn, with many other places in between. Camillus, Marcellus, and Clay, to name a few. Now it's Shue and Upham that started the shop, but it's the community that has kept it going. Kept it going, even though most of them don't have much to spare.
All of us are just, 1 or 2 paychecks away from being in serious trouble.
Yeah, I think it's just that idea that, well, I don't have a ton of money or they don't have a ton of money. They can still do something to give back to this community.
A community that lives the shop's motto to a T. Take what you need
and give when you can. Samantha Croston, NCC News.